Welcome in, collective, for this full moon in Capricorn. We are going to be looking at some energies, past, current, future, what we might need to embrace at this time or release because it is the full moon. We're coming to a completion of a cycle. We've cleansed the space, called in angels, ancestors, benevolent beings, any divine creators or higher powers that you might resonate most with to bring forth messages of the best and the highest good in alignment with your most ideal timeline. So let's check in. We're going to get a few base cards. This is really just to give me a snapshot of what we're digging into, what aspects we might be looking at within these energies. And then we will be getting some clarifiers, as some would call them, which is just going to be diving a little bit deeper and possibly pulling out some specifics for you. Now remember, this is a general reading, this isn't a personal one, so messages are bound to be generic, or they could be picking up on energies outside of you that are in connection with you in some way, shape, or form. So, let's see. Current energy of the collective, please, during this full moon in Capricorn. Patience. Oh. Having patience is a great thing. Having patience tested is a challenge. What are the past energies of the collective, please? Thank you. Spring, yes, that is the past energy. We are now into summer. And the Seeker. Okay, and future energies, please, for the collective. Thank you. The Moon. I'm getting a bit of emotional space also being tied in with finances for a lot of people at this time, which isn't surprising. The full moon is in Capricorn, which is known to be more of the materialistic type world. So what needs to be embraced at this time is manifestation. Remember, where your thoughts go or what actions you take will represent what you're pulling in. So even if you try to, let's say, do a particular thing, but you're secretly kind of doubting it in your mind. Now, one of two things can happen. Either you can be pleasantly surprised and realize that you were thinking bad things for no reason, or if it's stuck bad things on your mind, then we could be attracting more of that energy of negative, not having enough, things never working out, never having enough time. All of these things can be manifested. So really pay attention to where your thoughts are at this time and what you're letting go of. What does need to be released for this full moon in Capricorn, please? For the collective. Thank you. Greed. All right. Yep. Can be asking too much and being too selfish, not thinking of others. It looks like this is a process that you're going to be dealing with through fall. So or at least through the end of summer. What doesn't the collective see coming, please? What did I say? Fall, end of summer. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have the card of melting, which could be taken a couple different ways. I'm getting this melting to bring things together, to solidify things. Sometimes you have to melt things for them to combine well. That's what I'm getting from that. All right, I'm going to move this out a little bit so that we have a little bit more room here. Let's see for the current energies, present energies of patience, the Magician, Death, and Temperance. So they're asking for you to realize that you're in this state of pause, this state of starting to get ideas flowing and wanting to create something, but knowing that you have to let go of something else for that to happen. Sometimes we stretch ourselves too thin, and if we don't let one thing end so something else can begin, then we can see what they would call a tower card, which is the universe making the choice for you, essentially. They bring in what you refuse to see or acknowledge. So this patience with temperance, which is transmuting energies, bringing things together, balancing things out. You're in this state where you can go, I'm getting one of two ways. You can create one of two things. And doesn't it sound wonderful to create a place of balance, calm, and serenity? Let's see where they're coming from. What is spring with the Seeker? Two of Cups. Seven of Swords. One more, please. Six of Cups. You could have been focused on how something didn't work out or turn out in your favor. You could have been looking for something specific and had that fall through or be unfaithful. We have the Six of Wands here, so whatever that was, you were able to come out in a winning fashion, is how they're putting it. You might have been reminiscing on things in the past, on ways that a connection was, or ways that you poured yourself into a connection and you were trying to look for, I'm getting for some of the collective, it was looking for better. For others, it was looking to see what went wrong, possibly what you had done wrong. And if that's the case, I'm pulling both of the energies. So it looks like there was a little bit of give and take with going down a pathway that didn't serve the connection in the highest way possible, in the highest vibration, so to speak. So if that's where you're coming from, you have this choice now to have patience. I'm getting not rush. Not rush what you're trying to manifest. Let things develop slowly. And they're pulling out to be more meticulous and intentional. So let's see this moon for the future energies. Ooh, that is too many. I'm just going to glance at these. I'm not actually going to take these. We have the Ten of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Nine of Wands, and the Moon. The Moon again, that's funny. The Moon can also represent this illusion that there's two different pathways and it's hard to tell which one is real or right. Could be this guardedness. Not being afraid to show areas that have been hurt or where damage had been inflicted, or where you had inflicted damage on yourself. I'm also getting. It'll be a nice time to rest and relax and meditate. And I do see the Ten of Pentacles, which is success. It's really stability, financial success as well, some can say. But we have the Knight of Swords here. This is the way that you are presenting yourself, the way that you're verbalizing, able to verbalize things. To be logical and wanting to gain knowledge. One more, please, about this future energy. The Sun. So we are coming up on Leo season. Which is towards the end of the month, I believe. So on the 22nd, the Sun is going into Leo. And Leo is an energy that's usually quicker to act or rush into things. They're very passionate. And they can bring a lot of energy forth. This is also going to be coming into some eclipses, if I recall correctly. There's some that'll be coming up here. I don't believe it's this month, but I'm not positive. That might be a reading that we'll have to do. We might have to look into that a little bit. So what needs to be embraced at this time? Wowee. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands, which in many decks represents some sort of celebration, marriage into something committed, stable, for legs of a chair, sturdy, home, foundation, things in this nature. But what's interesting is for manifesting the things that need to be embraced is the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Now, these are really interesting. I'll get to the Emperor in a minute. But the Ten of Swords is quite a sad card. Feels like a lot of people have betrayed you. Or maybe even, I'm getting for some, a lot of your own ideas you feel have betrayed you, have wounded you or hurt you. But even still, you're able to maintain a soft and nurturing complex. It goes along the lines of not to bleed those who didn't hurt you. And then we have the Emperor with those, which is really about knowing what you want and having control in your life, being the leader of your own life, being able to have respect for others. And it's not... Now, there's two Emperors in this particular deck. And this one, I would say, is more of the evolved Emperor. It's definitely the Emperor that has the status, and it's not by controlling others. Right? There's a difference between a leader and a ruler, so to say, or a leader and a boss. And you're bringing that compassion forward in what you're manifesting. So you're not forgetting where you came from, but you're also not dwelling on that. So let's see this greed that needs to be released. We have Justice. We have the Three of Cups. And we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, justice is about being fair and balanced, logical in decision making. Making sure that the scales aren't tipped too far one way or another. The Three of Cups reminds us that we do have others around. Friends, loved ones. For some, this could be another energy that's kind of, I don't want to say fighting for, because it's not something that's fighting, but you're being drawn, or someone is. This might not be you, but it's where someone's kind of being pulled in two different directions, or by two different people, interested in two different people. I'm getting this secretive energy. Like, yeah, we're all friends here, but maybe there's something more that hasn't been said about that. Or about wanting more than one. This could be something about wanting to expand. Maybe what you're getting from others or from friends. What you're holding on to for yourself and not being willing to share or release. Kind of keeping it under lock and key. Again, something about a secret is here. I'm not sure what that means or what that is. It could be another person. It could just be about finances, perhaps. I don't know if there's an issue with finances. Show me one more with this Four of Pentacles. Okay, I'll take 2. The Ace of Pentacles and the Chariot, yeah. This is like taking a pause and reevaluating how energy is being given to a new start. It came out as Pentacles. I'm going to assume that's finances. It could be something else that's material, though. Maybe a new business idea where something wasn't working and you're tempted to just go off and start something else. And they're asking to take a pause, stop and meditate. King of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, 10 of Cups. Yeah, stop and pause. Evaluate the decisions. Don't make any rash decisions here is what I'm getting. Don't be overspending or too greedy, right? Everything doesn't have to be perfect. So what's this autumn and what we don't see coming? 9 of Cups. I'm going to leave that reversed. The Hermit. Knight of Cups. Here we have the Emperor again, but this is that other version of the Emperor that I was saying is more controlling, right? Has to have ties on all the other people. And that is what I was getting with this 3 of Cups, is there being 2 different energies here. Something's going to tip your emotional center upside down. Well, I'm not going to say upside down. I'm going to take that back. It's going to spill whatever was in the cup. Let's put it that way. Whatever you've been sipping on that you're like, oh, this is lovely. I like this a lot. Something's going to come in like a cat. I'm seeing like this black cat sitting on a countertop or an island, and there being a mug and them just like whack and knocking it over, tipping it over, and everything in it, all the tea spills. And then we have the Hermit. So I think what's going to be happening here is you're going to get some sort of information, probably in a romantic connection, that's going to have you stop and really internalize where you're at, what your path looks like, where your passions lie, kind of what way you want to proceed, because we also had the 2 of Wands here when the deck split. which is about these two different directions. Now, this could completely be about someone having to choose one person or another. I'm not going to put that past anyone because we're all human and it could happen. But I'm not seeing that that's for everyone. This Knight of Cups that's here, that's really wanting to come in and be like that knight in shining armor. And I can't quite differentiate between whether that's your energy or someone else's energy that you're in connection with. Looks like you. Something that you're giving your energy to, that you're wanting to. Yeah. You're wanting to really put forth your effort and your energy, maybe even your money for someone. Now, if this isn't you, this could be someone else. We do have the Lovers here as well. So yeah, what you're not seeing coming is going to be something likely in the romantic nature, or if it's not, it's going to be something where you have a choice between two and where you're putting your energy. You're going to gain information that's going to show you something that you didn't see before, that you didn't think of before, that you didn't realize was happening. And you're going to have to stop and take that little, okay, I need a minute, and get your head above water and sit, meditate, journal, whatever you need to do to see where you want to put forth your energy to follow your passions and create something wonderful. All right, we're going to go ahead and close this up. Let's just get one closing message, please. Any guidance for the collective to move through any blockages? We have number 14, Ride the Wave. Ride the wave. Right now, success is easy and effortless. You can be assured that you're entering a time when you can ride the wave of abundance. The tide has turned, and you can put your surfing skills to the test. Everything that you know, all your talents, coupled with your hopes and dreams, will carry you forward. People and circumstances have come out of the ocean of potential and possibility to take shape in a wave of spectacular activity. Know that you're definitely on the right path. Beautiful messages, collective. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend here with us. Until next time, toodles!